Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Katie and welcome to the Bookish adventure. So today we are doing a book tag and we are doing the stay at home book tag. So I saw this originally on the Naughty Librarian's channel, but the actual original book tag is by Princess of Paperback, and I'll link both of theirs in the description. I'm giving up right now. Oh my god, why can't I speak? So we have a bunch of different prompts and I will get straight to them. No faffing around like I normally do. So the first one is Laying in Bed, a book that you could or have read in a day. So it took me a while, because I know I have done a few, but it took me a while to kind of remember which ones I had. Stardust by Neil Gaiman. So I went on a massive Neil Gaiman binge. Like, I pretty much read so much of his stuff in one go, and Stardust was one of the ones, I think one of the early ones I read, that it was just so magical. And I mean, it's not very big, but it just completely sucked me in, and before I knew it, I'd finished it and I was like, oh. And I just find it amazing that as small as it is, it just has this amazing story to it and characters, and I'm just like, how is this book so small? Next up is Snacking, a guilty pleasure book. So if you have watched any of my other videos, you will know what this is going to be. Basically anything by Dan Brown. The Robert Langdon series by Dan Brown is one of my absolute favorites. It is the complete polar opposite to books that I would normally read. I think that is one of the reasons I love it so much. It combines my love of history, so it's just so much of it. It is so fast paced, it is just so many characters, you don't know who you can trust, and it is just that countdown of like trying to just rush and save everything, and I absolutely love it. And his books have never failed to entertain me, and yes, there is this huge conspiracy element to it, but I think that is just part of the enjoyment, because you are blending this mix of real with not, and I think that is just, I don't know, they never fail to entertain me. I've been wanting to go back and reread these for quite a long time, because I haven't read this or the Da Vinci Code since I think my mid-teens. I think I was sort of like 16, 17. So it's been at least a good 10 years since I read the originals. It would be nice, I think, to finally go back, because there's just so much, and I feel like there's probably a lot I have forgotten. The next prompt is Netflix, a series that you've been wanting to start. Three Dark Grounds by Kendall Blake. So I find it absolutely insane that I see these books all over Bookstagram, but I never see her duology and A Dressed in Blood anywhere. That's how I first came across Kendall Blake, and I absolutely love those books. They were very kind of vivid in the imagination on some of those awful scenes. It like, the mind boggles me. So when I found out that she had like new books coming, I was like, oh my god, yes, I have to read them. And then, being me, I collected them and still haven't read them. So Three Dark Crowns is about three sisters who are fighting to the death to be queen. So it doesn't matter like what order you're born in, that does not matter on this. I think it's their 16th birthday. It's normally 16 these things happen. Yeah, on their 16th birthday the battle begins. So I like that they have these different traits about them. I will get to these one day. The next prompt is Deep Clean, a book that has been on your TBR for ages. So I mean, I could have dragged out my whole bookcase, but I tried to find one that has really been on there a long time, since I've recently been going through some of my older ones, and that is Wicked by Gregory Maguire. So I have been wanting to read this for, oh my god, I mean, this came out I think when I was in high school, possibly before. I'm gonna go with high school, so a very long time ago, let's just put it that way. I think the main thing for me was that I had wanted to read The Wizard of Oz first before I got to this, and I'm about halfway through the collection of stories, and I've now kind of gone to Dorothy Must Die before getting to these. But this is a series I just really want to read. I don't know, I'm not gravitating towards it just yet. So this is the story of the witches before Dorothy turns up, and it is finding out who Glinda and who Zelena really are. Wait, is she called Zelena in this, or am I thinking of just the other thing? Oh no, she's called Alphabet. Please excuse me, I'm thinking of Once Upon a Time. I'm thinking of her. Who they are and how they become the witches that they are infamous of being for. I have seen the musical and it was amazing, and I don't know why that didn't jolt me into finally reading these, but one day. I feel like that's my motto. One day I'll read you. The next prompt is Animal Crossing, a book you bought recently because of the hype. I couldn't find a book that I had bought recently because of the hype, because I've actually been picking books that have just been on my list for ages, or books I want to read this year. So it took me a while, but I did find one. We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. So I had been seeing this everywhere on Bookstagram, oh my god, and I was constantly seeing the hashtag We Hunt the Flame, We Hunt the Flame. So I was just like, right, I need to just see what this is, because it's just always on my feed. It does sound really good. I've been looking for books which are based on other cultures, and this is Arabic influence, makes me very excited. It also has magic, which makes me excited. It also has a cursed forest. It is just everything, and it is about 2 lead characters. So we have our female lead who is pretending to be a man who is trying to feed her village, and there is the prince who is the son of the king, and he is his oh my god, and he is his assassin, but he has a very, I think, kinder nature soul to him, and it's that if either of their true identities were exposed, it would not go down well, and like, I mean, his dad would be like off with his head. So it is kind of a story of discovery and sort of who you are, and then obviously the cursed forest and magic, and yay, anything with magic, and I'm just bring it to me. The next prompt is productivity, and this is a book that you've had an impact from, or you have learned something from. The Dark Angel by Meredith Ann Pierce. So this is the book that I attribute basically being here. I was obviously reading Harry Potter in my teenage years, and I checked out other books from the library, but I never read books on the scale of I read books now. And a little story for you here. I was coming up to the last Harry Potter book, so it was obviously that point where I was waiting for them to come out, and I went to a trip to Stratford to go and see David Tennant in Hamlet. Literally the sole reason me and my friend went up there was to turn this play into a trip, because it was like him, and it was my baby Patrick Stewart in like the proper Stratford-upon-Avon like building, like full on, like going full Shakespeare here. And we went to Birmingham and went into Waterstones. I can't remember if I picked up this one or if I picked up all 3, but it is the first time I've been in like Waterstones or a bookshop in a very long time, and if it wasn't for this book, I don't think I would be here. I remember sitting up in bed at night whilst my friend at the time, Rachel, was asleep, and I was reading it and just being like, oh my god, this is amazing. This was my first vampire book, and it's completely different from like vampire books, so it is like a vampire kind of angel book, but it is the book that got me here. I recently reread this series and I still love it. It is still really good. I wouldn't be here if I hadn't have read this. The next prompt is Facetime, which is a book that you were gifted. So I picked this stunning book, Sleeping Beauty. So Gavin got this for me for my first birthday when we were in a relationship, so this was last year, and this kind of just went to show. I mean, he got me a massive stack of books, but I think this one, he's very good with gifts, but I think, yeah, this one was the one that just really showed he got me, if that made sense. So there are a bunch of these books, and they just tell the story of the animated classic that we know and love, but in it also includes like original story artwork. It also then has like concept artwork, so like the king here or sketch, so it tells the story as it goes. But yeah, it is just the fact it contains all this extra to it, and I mentioned these in passing to him. I mean, I think he always knew that I was like a crazy Disney person, but yeah, I think I had just mentioned these in passing, and obviously he got books off my wish list, but I feel like this was the book that just made me think, oh my god, like you really get me, like, and you don't care that I am like, yes, I would have been like turning 27 and you're buying me Disney stuff. And I just, yeah, this is the book that made me think, oh my god, you get me, yay. The next prompt and final prompt is self-care. What is one thing that you've done recently to look after yourself? To be honest, I mean, there's probably nothing. Ever since I got put on furlough, I have made sure that I have had myself a structured routine so that I didn't lose my mind. Unnecessarily bought myself a load of hoodies and sweatshirts and candles that I don't need. So you could count that as self-care. I also do put on a bit of makeup, like you can see now, just a little bit cheap foundation and some eyebrows and some mascara, just when I go for my walks, because looking and catching my reflection in a mirror and just seeing trash is not nice. So at least this way I kind of see myself and think, oh look, that's what you look like when you go to work, but like less nice. But that's probably it. I mean, yeah, other than unnecessarily buying myself things. And then as a bonus, name a book that is coming out soon. So this is a book, again, that I've been seeing quite a lot on Instagram, and that is The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. I'm really excited for this to come out. Again, as well as me looking for books that are set in like different cultures, I also kind of want to try and go more into like the historical fiction, and this is very much a cross of it. It's been sold as a cross of Les Miserables and Six of Crows. It's that kind of vibe. Court of Miracles is that sort of like that Hunchback era, so back when the French Revolution was around there. I'm thinking like Musketeers, like all of that sort of era, and I really love that era. As bad as it probably was for France, there is just something really cool about that historical time. But yeah, this is a book I just keep seeing. I think it's coming out pretty soon. I think it's either June or July. It's coming very soon, but it's just a book I'm forever seeing on Instagram, and I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do this. I think also because books that have that vibe to it seem to be more sometimes about magic, whereas this one is kind of like more like a heist thief kind of vibe. So as well as that, it has that different edge to it. Thank you for staying in and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like button and comment down below. If you're new, then hit the subscribe button and don't forget to ding the bell to never miss a video. I will see you on Thursday for another weekly reading vlog. I am now going to take the longest nap because I just did a 5-mile walk and I am so tired. If you saw my stories on Instagram, then you may have seen the one that I put up of the sheep, and it was so cute, and it was a baby lamb and it made the baby lamb sound, and I've lost my mind, I'm aware.